What is NF's best song? That question in and of itself could spark a centuries-long debate that would never have an answer because he's going to constantly be releasing new bangers. But you have songs like the massively popular Let You Down, you have The Search, you have Motto, you have Hope, you have Therapy Session, you have Mansion. So many different songs fitting so many different moods. How could you possibly pick one song to rule them all? And that question in and of itself, again, like I said, could spark debate that would last centuries. But I want to throw my answer into the ring, and I want to see if you agree with me. Now, I have different NF songs that are my favorite, that have been my favorites throughout different periods of my life. Why? Because they represent something different that I was going through that I related to the most in that time. Therapy Session was one of my favorite songs for a long time because at the time I was in college, I was depressed, I was dealing with a lot of stuff, and at that point that song just sucker punched me in my stomach and just made me face a lot of stuff that I didn't want to face. But then you have songs like Why off The Search that it's just, Why is a banger to listen to because the music is awesome, the lyrics are deep, it just is everything that I wanted all in one because it was just everything that I needed to hear at that point in time. But then also too, another song that was one of my favorites in college was Paralyzed. When I was actually in film school, I had to make a 3-minute long video about anything as long as I included some avant-garde style film techniques. So I actually made a music video to Paralyze and just incorporated some of those things. Like it was one of my favorite songs, and a few of my friends actually told me afterwards, they're like, dang, you straight up made me cry watching this. Like, what? So like that song holds a very, very special place in my heart. But also too, then you have songs like Leave Me Alone, which again, it's off of the same album as Why, and I have blasted Leave Me Alone because sometimes you just want people to let you cook and just stand back and trust the process, and sometimes they don't want to do that. So, you know, I relate to that song on a deep and very personal level as well. Like so many songs that NF has released, I relate to so deeply. But then also too, like you have Paid My Dues, which is another banger. And it's like I feel like every song that, like not every song, but a lot of the songs that I hear of by NF, they speak to me on a deep emotional level that I will never be able to put into words. And I'm sure you have felt the same way about so many of his songs. Cause then you also have songs like Outcast, which again, that came off of Perception, which came out in 2017. But Outcast, dog, it's like, sometimes I feel like an outcast, and it's like, oh, well, I feel that. Okay, pop off. What else you got to say? And just, again, just so many of his songs, man. So many of his songs just speak to me on a deep and emotional level that is just, it's on, like I said, it could spark a centuries-long debate. I'm literally talking to myself, naming a bunch of different songs by him because they are all bangers. But the song that I will enter in as my current favorite all-time NF song, and has been for a while, is Returns off of The Search. There is just something about the flow switch-ups, there's something about the music, the other elements that he pulls into the production to make it sound interesting. There's something about the overall production of Returns that just hits. Whenever I hear it, no matter what I'm doing, like it's rare that I will skip an NF song when it comes up in my playlist, but I never skip Returns. I absolutely never skip Returns. Even the opening bar of Returns is what is perfect, not me. Like, bruh, that just ever since, like, just that lyric in and of itself, it's like, oh, well, okay, that's just me. All right, cool. We're here now. And then it just, honestly, like lyric wise, Returns by NF is one of the ones that I can rap basically from heart because I've listened to it so many times, and it's just like, it is one of my all-time, it's one of my all-time favorite songs, period, let alone my favorite NF song, just because it is just so good. The lyrical process and the lyrical breakdown of the entire song just, it's so good. It feels like it's weird because, like, the more that you go into the song, it feels like you're slowly descending into madness almost, but like the good kind of madness. I don't know. I find it to be an incredibly motivational song, but also at the same time, it feels like you're descending into a creative madness almost. Just the receptacles that it triggers in my brain. I can't quite put it into words, but it is one of my favorite songs, like, ever. ever one of my favorite songs. I heard someone say that Pandemonium was one of their favorite songs, and again, I get it, because like Pandemonium, again, it just speaks to how crazy and how dark life can get at times, but also too like how possible it is to push through, and that you can get through, and you can get through to the other side. And like it just the way that NF writes his songs and how he just crafts everything together, man, it just so good. Someone said that one of their favorite songs was I Miss the Days. Again, like just the opening bars. I miss the days when I had a smile on my face and wasn't so caught up in all the small things. Brother, like also the fact that this was released in 2019, right before the world went to absolute crap in a handbasket, dog. Also, I got to see him perform these songs live because I went to his tour in 2019. Like one of my favorite live performances that I have ever been able to see, right next to Connor Price and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, like, which is very wide smattering in category of things. I get that, but like just this, it was my second time seeing NF live, and I got to see him perform this EP, and dude, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I know that I'm not the only one that thinks Returns is their favorite song. There are quite a few other people that Returns, they are their favorite songs, at least two that I've seen on comments of my other video. So yeah, like I would actually be genuinely curious to know what your favorite NF song is, or also too, if you don't listen to NF, which why are you watching this video if you don't listen to NF? That's a side point. But what is your favorite NF song that you have ever heard? And if you can't pick one, what's your like top three? And if you can't pick three, what's your top five? Like honestly, I went to film school, and when people ask me what my favorite movie is, I just say No or Iron Man 1. Those are like my two answers, but everyone's like, oh, you're not gonna say like, I don't know, Citizen Kane? First off, if Citizen Kane is your favorite movie, no, it's not. It sucks. And two, you will never be able to convince me otherwise. I don't have a strong emotional tie to that topic. You do. Anyways, if you can't pick just one, what are your favorite, however many you can list, that are in your favorite category for NF? And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for me today, guys. Hope you absolutely did all enjoy. And if you're enjoying the new NF content, if there's something that you would like to hear me talk about from either a film perspective or a music audio engineer perspective, which by the way, I don't think I've mentioned it, I'm actually a trained audio engineer. Anyways, feel free to drop it in the comment section down below. And I look forward to listening to the Fear EP with all of you. So until then, I'll catch y'all next time. God bless.